Wow. I wasn't quite sure what was going on there, but I liked it.
Nor me.
But there we are. Welcome to Acoustic Paradiso on Andertons TV. My name is Pete.
My name is Mick, and I still have a throat infection.
Exactly. And, but, you know, it'll go away.
Yeah.
Like most things do. Some things take 4 years to go away, but, you know.
But we've been to see the doctor about that.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And he says, sit tight, everything will be fine.
Yeah, exactly. But just wait 4 years' time, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, we have looked at these guitars before in another video that I did with Paul. But these are some different models because back then we didn't have all the ones that, you know, that is in stock now. So we thought we would revisit these guitars and simply just have the opposite of what we had before. So before, for instance, we had the Olympic with the sound hole in it and so on and so forth. So
I think these are very exciting.
Yeah.
They
amazing
sort of,
guitars.
So let's start from the beginning. Epiphone Century Zenith, Epiphone Century Deluxe, Epiphone Century
Olympic.
Sorry, a little bit confusing. Lots of words.
Confusing. And
I'm not real good with words.
I'm not good with words.
So what's interesting about these guitars? They sit in a really interesting evolutionary kind of gap, if you like, in acoustic guitars because what happened was back in the 20s and 30s, as archtops were developing. So again, for anyone who doesn't know, a standard acoustic guitar, what we think of today as a standard acoustic guitar, has a flat top construction, which means the top is more or less flat and underneath it's got an X brace, series of X bracing. Before that happened, actually not before that happened, as that was happening, archtop acoustics are, as they sound, built more like violins.
Yeah.
So the top is a solid piece of wood and it's arched, and it's the arch that gives it its structural integrity rather than the X bracing underneath. So to reduce it right down to basics, if you go back to the 20s and 30s, Martin was developing X brace flat tops. Gibson was carrying on with arch tops. But of course, these aren't Gibsons, they're Epiphones, and Epiphone was a completely separate company from Gibson.
Back then,
At that point, made really, really lovely archtop guitars.
Yeah.
And instead of an X brace, which is what you would find in most flat top acoustic guitars as you know them, you've got longitudinal bracing, which is how archtops are made.
Yeah. So from here to here, it sits underneath that bit, and that's a floating. There's a bit, you know, to me it's all a bit alien. I've played these before, of course, but still, it's kind of, you have to approach it differently. Yeah,
and the reason that they're an interesting evolutionary step is because archtops came along and acoustic archtop instruments were being developed at the same time that pickups came along and the flat top acoustic came along.
Yeah.
So they kind of morphed into electric guitars in one direction.
Yeah.
So you would see something that looks a bit like that with a pickup there.
Yeah.
And then we know what happened to electric guitars after that. They became thinner, they became solid body.
Yeah.
All right, some remain semi-acoustic, but it kind of evolved in that direction.
Yeah.
Into an electric guitar, and the acoustic guitar went flat top.
Sound hole.
Yeah.
Sort of.
The Martin thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Archtop acoustics in jazz still very much existed, but they weren't the mainstream.
No.
Mainstream went electric guitar, flat top acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
So these are sort of this interesting evolutionary step that, while has existed ever since then, is not really popular in the way the other two are. And to add to that, Epiphone is talking a lot about the fact that they've got kind of modern acoustic guitar pickups in.
Yeah.
So that never happened because those kind of pickups didn't exist back then. So for any of these guitars to be amplified back then, as electric amps came along, it would be a floating pickup here.
Yeah, under here instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are on the saddle pickups, aren't they?
Yeah, like a modern acoustic guitar pickup.
With little treble and volume control in here, sneakily put away, and your little battery in the back, and your jack socket here. So
kind of long story round,
I
said I really like these and I'm excited by it because they're different.
Yeah.
And it's not just the same old thing again. It's something that's, while it's old, it's kind of new as well.
Yeah.
So as Pete said, each one, I think I'm right in saying that each one comes with either a round sound hole or
and
F-holes.
in different colours, you know. So all the combinations will be we'll put the links below in the description so you can go and have a look at all the different combinations of them. But basically there is three models.
Yeah.
And those are the 3 we have here.
Yeah.
You know, and the deluxe, and you know, where you get more stuff, and this is kind of the entry level, if you will.
Yeah, that's the smallest body. That's 14.5 inches across.
Yeah.
This is the next one, which is 16 inches, and that's the Big Daddy, which is 17, which we'll come on to in a second.
It's absolutely humongous, that one.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful things, man.
Yeah, I think of like a Super 400 or a Charlie Christian or something when you see that.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're wonderfully made, aren't they? They're made in Indonesia, but you know, they still look. I mean,
yeah, they're pretty.
Everywhere you look in these, they're just absolutely spot on.
Pretty jolly things.
And there's also another thing that I noticed when I unpacked this little guy is that you get your, in the case you get your scrap plates, so you can decide whether you want to have that on or off
or not.
Yeah. So I reckon when you get them, it won't be on there. And when you get this with it, there you go. I might put it on. I might not put it on.
Maybe your local friendly guitar dealer could attach it.
Yeah, because it is a screwing job. Anyway, we should have a listen to them. Of course. So since they've got the pickups in them, we've got an AER Compact 63 behind here, which is then we're taking the line out into the Apollo. And then we're just going to hear what that sounds like. But first, I think we just need to...
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the electrics.
We'll do that all later on.
Okay, so why don't we start with that one, seeing as it's the smallest PA?
Yeah, it is smallest, so, you know, I'll try to aim...
Where do you stick the microphone?
Exactly. I'll just try to put it kind of where I would do it in a normal acoustic situation. And it's not really a guitar you would go... Or maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Yeah, well, play. Go on, see what you get to.
I'm sure Mick has got something up his sleeve. Right, so this is a sound hole one, so immediately...
It's mad, isn't it? Because when we began the video, Pete said, it's hard to know what to do on a guitar like this. And you probably wouldn't do that. You probably wouldn't strum away chords on it, because that's not what it's... Yeah,
but I'll leave that to you.
Well, no, I mean, when those guitars existed, they were about big band.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
There was something like that, maybe the thumb. I don't know if they had picks back then, or maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know.
It was about comping chords, and the body's massive,
yeah.
because it was loud and it projected.
Exactly,
and that was the whole point of the Archtop as well. Actually, incidentally, they are solid spruce Archtops.
Yeah. It's a big chunky piece of wood as well. It's
yeah. I very strongly doubt that they're carved at that price. They're probably pressed.
Yeah.
So. Solid spruce and laminate maple back and sides, and all of them have that. But I think, again, it's not a style I can play, but what you'd hear on a guitar like this is probably melody. Somebody, when I saw it, I immediately thought of David Rawlings. So David Rawlings and Gillian Welch, awesome Americana country duo couple. She strums a regular acoustic guitar, and he tends to play melody on this kind of Archtop F-hole guitar. Yeah. And because of that really middly sound, it's not particularly satisfying.
Not really.
Because there's no real bass there, and it's not that sound as you would imagine.
Yeah.
But almost, I can't play it at all, but it's like, it's almost like you could play some gypsy jazz type stuff.
Yes,
it's
definitely.
got that twangy kind of really projecting, but you know.
I don't know, you know.
Yeah, you'd be playing that much better. But I think that's sort of what this guitar is for.
Yeah.
More is that melody.
Yes.
And because of where it sits frequency-wise, because you don't have loads of bass and it's not a traditional sound hole, it really does project.
It does.
It's kind of got that mid-range that really will push through as a melody instrument.
Yeah. Well, they use these for big bands. You know what I mean? And if you ever heard a big band play it,
yeah,
wow,
I think that's kind of a different thing, because if you try and play something jazzy.
Well, like
Play something jazzy.
I'll leave it to you, didn't I? What do you think about? I don't know.
Yeah,
you know.
it's kind of, it's one reason it sounds slightly strange is because it's got bronze acoustic guitar
And-
strings on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe if you put flat wounds on it, you get that more kind of jazzy kind of tone.
Yeah. Because you won't get all that.
And the whole way that an Archtop responds in terms of its transient attack and how it drops off in terms of sustain is completely different.
There's not much, is there?
No.
It's more in the attack.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. It's funny, looking at it from here.
Huge.
When you were playing that, a friend of mine, a guy called Whit Smith, who is a guitar player in the Hot Club of Cowtown, and he just plays this unbelievable Western swing meets jazz meets country meets.
Oh wow!
And he's got a big old, I think it's an L5 originally, Gibson.
Yeah.
They'd build a guitar like that, but they would actually put a cutaway in it. So it'd be an aftermarket cutaway.
Oh really?
Somebody would do the cutaway. Yeah.
Really?
And
Just cut it off there.
Yeah. And I was thinking of Whit then with all these kind of I just can't play that stuff.
No.
But amazing 58 million chord changes and
Yeah.
intricate melodies. It's great for that. Yeah.
Great stuff, man. Anyway, should we? Sorry.
Lest we say that it looks fantastic.
Oh, they're amazing looking guitars, aren't they? They really are.
Yeah.
This is just a little
So
stick
we
in
go?
there. Yeah. Oh, I did this one, didn't I? Yeah, I did them all, didn't I? Really. So, you chamber, we have a little plinky plink.
Massive neck.
There's a big neck, isn't there? As well,
Absolutely massive neck.
Yeah.
It is really weird because you've got literally no idea what to play on it.
Yeah, it's sort of that, isn't it? Is that sort of thing?
Yeah.
I think it sort of appeals to a certain person, really.
Yeah, I mean,
you
if
know, or just as an extra thing in the collection, and then if you're a recording artist or something, you know.
If I was to look at this, I would think, yeah, I mean, you could do the same thing, but it would probably be quite good. Sort of, you know, country blues.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I don't think would work in the same way on those because you haven't got the bottom end.
Try it.
It would be very plinky, I think.
Definitely, it takes a little getting used to.
Yeah,
as well,
43mm nut as well, which I really struggle with.
Yeah,
So
it's like an acoustic guitar, basically. Isn't
a
it?
lot of people would find that very comfortable for strumming, but mine tend to be 44.5. My personal guitars, which I'm struggling to get in there a bit. But
yeah,
I mean. Can't even play that chord, it's so big. Yeah, so I think that
kind of works for that sort of
probably makes
plunky.
the point that you can hit it out, and if either of us could play gypsy jazz, I think it might work a little bit for that as well.
I don't know.
Yeah, literally no idea. So cool. I mean, cool.
They're really cool, aren't they?
They are cool.
They are in a market where it sits a place where it's missing this thing.
Yeah.
It's not like anything else really, is it? It's really cool, man. I really like them. I think they're great. And they look just amazingly, don't they? They really do.
Yeah, it's such a different sound and response and feel
to any guitar.
Yeah.
Let's try to plug them in really quick and see what it sounds like with the.
Okay.
So you've got the plug over there.
This is about to get even weirder because normally, if you've ever had a guitar like this and you've plugged it in.
Yeah.
Oh. There we go. It tends to be.
See, now it becomes something different.
Yeah.
It changes completely character, and you probably even know, you go, okay, actually.
And now I'm starting to play it like an acoustic guitar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
It's still different.
Yeah,
it's still.
No, it's got a different tone, of course, because of how it's constructed and the pickup and all that stuff.
In here somewhere, if I have a feel around, there are two. Yeah, kind of does a mid scoop and a top boost thing.
Yeah.
Have a play, Piero.
All right, let's see what this little thing does. Yeah. So of course this one has got the bigger sound hole in it, so it might feed back a little bit. Let's see what happens. So volume, send it don't in the middle there. It's completely different.
I can't quite place it. It's different. It's quite different from a regular electroacoustic.
Yeah. Maybe not play that sort of stuff, but it still does it.
I don't know.
And you can even strum.
As we said, that's the kind of new bit, because it's archtops and modern acoustic guitar pickups
meet each other.
Tend to not have been done much before.
Yeah.
Just so in the interests of.
Nice for that sort of stuff as well.
It really is, yeah. It's nice, I tell you that.
I can feel it's going a little bit, but
it's pretty well sorted, that pickup, I think.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me? Sometimes if you as I'm not, if you're not really into jazz guitar,
yeah,
I like jazz guitar. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something I know a lot about. And your perception of the jazz guitar sound is all the tone rolled off, all mid. Neck humbucker, and this kind of woolly,
blanket over your
blanket, But actually, it's not the case. If you listen to a lot of those guys, a lot of the early guys, there's a fair amount of treble zing in the sound, and it really reminded me of that just a little bit there.
Yeah, nice, isn't it?
It is nice.
Actually, it's really nice.
Yeah. What's interesting is that the guitars take on a completely different character when you plug them in.
It's completely ridiculous,
and it sort of inspire you in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that a lot.
And looks cool,
man.
I
would have to pin the bridge. Oh, you have to,
because every time you take the strings off, of course, the bridge should just fall off. Well, it won't fall off because I take it there's a wire stuck through the hole. There must be a wire somewhere.
I don't know. I mean,
because there is a wire coming out there, so it must go through somewhere to the pickup underneath. So there must be a little hole somewhere. But they're not pinned bridges. They are literally floating around.
When we took them out of the boxes, they were box fresh. They had this bit of stuff underneath to stop the bridge from marking the top.
Yeah.
And I guess just to keep it safe during transit. So we took those out and quickly repositioned the bridge. Quick. Quick set of the intonation by moving the bridge into the correct position.
Yeah.
Took a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, they're great, man.
Yeah.
I really like them. And they're priced are pretty. They're not expensive guitars either.
9th. Did you say it's the 9th of November today?
It's the 9th. It's that day, ladies and gentlemen.
It's that day. Something interesting happened in America today.
Yeah, it's that day.
Anyway, it's the 9th of November, and this is currently 699 English Earth pounds.
Yeah.
And that one is, I think, 499.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that one's in the middle,
I
guess.
Yeah, I think it's something like that, isn't it? I think it's just in the
middle.
Anyway, the links are below, so you can go and check the prices out. Hey, they might change again. Let's see.
Yes.
It's one of those, isn't it? So that was a quick sort of a roundup
Yeah.
a second part 2 of the Epiphone Masterbilt. So the Zenith.
Yes.
I really like the logo as well. They look cool, don't they?
Yes, they
And
do.
the Olympic Masterbilt, and Masterbilt is spelt with an I
Yes,
L T,
it's
not built.
It's spelt
It's
as incorrectly as aluminum.
Yeah, aluminium, man. Aluminum.
They've left out a
Aluminum.
different letter, but they've left one out anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, and that would be the Deluxe.
Yeah.
Or
Very
Deluxe.
pretty guitars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Splendid.
Anyway, that was Acoustic Guitar Paradiso for this time. Please don't forget to subscribe, and it was lovely to see you, and we'll see you next time. My name is Pete.
My name is Mick.
See you soon.
Cheerio.
Take care.